Good afternoon. I'm James Holloway. I'm the Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs at the University of New Mexico. I'd like to thank the hardy few who are still here. I also want to thank Dale Decker. I promised to pay him later for all of the things he said about investing in universities. I actually want to respond to make a couple of comments. So Lisa has given me a specific task. I'm going to stray a little bit from my mandate to make a couple of comments about some of the things that were said. This point about preparation for STEM education is incredibly important. 8% of the students who enroll at the University of New Mexico are ready to take calculus, 8%. And so you don't complete a STEM degree, or at least not a traditional STEM curriculum, in 4 years if you're not ready for calculus when you start. So that's sort of one of those kinds of challenges. I also want to comment on the notion of, are entrepreneurs born or made? Undoubtedly, it's some of both, as in most things. But I think we heard very clearly today that entrepreneurs need training, they need resources. There are things that we don't know how to do when we want to start businesses. And so I do want to acknowledge the work of education in creating entrepreneurs. We've had over 1,000 students go through our Innovation Academy program, which does exactly that. They've started over 140 companies. From about $60,000 of investment by Innovation Academy in those student companies, they've garnered $6 million of outside investment, so a 10-to-1 return, if you will. I think those are the kinds of programs that are really going to help us as well. I want to mention about the National Science Foundation engines programs. And so we do have a consortium called the NRGCC, which is the Northern Rio Grande Corridor Collaborative. That involves the research universities from UTEP, follow the Rio Grande north to here. It involves the national labs, a number of other institutions. And we are in fact submitting a type 2 proposal called Regional Advancement Leveraging Innovations for Water and Energy Security Transformation, Rayleigh West. We have some people who do great acronyms. And that does involve San Juan Community College, Navajo Tech, NMSU, UTEP, New Mexico Tech, Llano, Sandia National Lab, and a number of business partners as well. So things are moving in those dimensions, and I think those will be important steps forward. So I did just want to address some of those points that are related to comments made today. So what Lisa asked me to do was clean up. And so I started picking up cups and plates. And then she said, no, kind of summarize. And so I thought, well, that looks challenging. So actually all I'm going to do is quote. I'm going to share some quotes from today that I think are worth remembering and thinking about. And so I think we heard, trying to convince me not to start a business, recognizing the challenge of the complexity of steps required to start business. We heard space, we need space, office space. Prosperity comes from the bottom up. Young businesses create jobs, old businesses do not. Weeds growing through cracks. Space, we need space. Very important, acknowledging sovereignty. And so I thought that was an incredibly important comment that one of our indigenous entrepreneurs made, recognizing that the way we think about entrepreneurship with our indigenous populations and our recognized tribes is going to look a little different because of that importance of acknowledging sovereignty. It's okay to make money. If you buy from Bison Star Naturals, you are not voting for Dove. I think that's really important. And then finally, love of coffee. Also very important. And speaking of love of coffee, I want to do some thanks first, and then I'll talk about coffee. So first, I really want to thank Lisa Kudla for the work that she puts into making this happen. I want to thank Victor Wang, not just for his talk today, but for giving this space its name. And most importantly, I want to thank the staff of Rainforest Innovations for the amazing work that they've done in putting this together. Everything that you see around here is their effort, and so thank you for all of the staff.